this is Dredly from VVV Strategy. Here I have a very fun game that I'm playing. It's me and Phalanx. Phalanx is a pretty good player too, against 3 others, so 2v3. And we're both Iberians, so that means we're practically unrushable because of our walls. So a standard start for me, 4 females to berries, 3 of the men to build a mill by the wood, and then 1 man to build a house, and then the next batch of females all go to wood. So yeah, we decided to not cav rush because that's an overpowered tactic and it's not really fun for anyone when you do that. So in the blue we have Phalanx. You see he's already got a barracks. So what I like about 0AD is you could see all the top players, they have different build orders and they all work in different ways. I think it's the addition of citizen soldiers that just gives more flexibility, because when you see Age of Empires 2, what people do with the first 20 villages is like a standard procedure that has to be the same basically every time. It's always 2 villagers on a house, 1 on another house, then you scout for your sheep and so on. It's a very strict set of rules to start off with. With 0AD there's a bit more room for creativity, which is something I like quite a lot. Of course there are good build orders and bad build orders still. So I'm not actually following anyone else's build order, I'm just trying to experiment to find what's best for me. So I see there are extra berries, so I'll take advantage of that. I'll also take advantage of the animals, but as you might see my units are glitching, like they can't find the gate or something, which is really annoying because it slows down my economy. So yeah, I'm getting the lumber upgrade now, because I guess like basically if you get the lumber upgrade you'll want to get the berry upgrade too, which I am going to get since I have a farmstead near extra berries. And if you don't want to get those upgrades, then wheelbarrow is the way to go because it's quite useful in the long term, given the extra carry capacity. And also if you want to do a lot of hunting, then that's good, because in hunting your cavalry usually needs to make big trips, so then it's really important that they can take as much food as possible. So yeah, this time I got pretty decent time for second age, I think. As you can see, I just deleted my wall because it was causing more harm than good. If I come under attack, I could always just rebuild it. So yeah, Phalanx is getting his economy quite good. You know, I'm just trying to stay on top of my population and everything. Starting to collect stone, because I'd say the 2 civs that you need the most stone for are Iberian and Athenian. So Iberian, it's more in the mid game that you need stone because their towers cost only stone, but more stone. And you might want to spend it on slingers too, which are pretty good. The Athenians also have slingers, but when they really need stone is in the late game because they lack battering rams, so catapults are their only real option for siege. So nothing much going on at the moment. You could see Phalanx has found the green base, and they come under attack here, although I don't even see from where. But so yeah, its best hero is playing as I think Ptolemies. He's the light blue, and as you'll soon see, he's the guy next to me. So most of my fighting takes place with best hero. So the Iberians, their best unit is skirms, so I'm training mostly skirmishers, but no matter what civ you are, it's a good idea to have a decent amount of spearmen too, because they're just good against fighting cav. Melee cav though, because unless there's a really big amount of spearmen, they're not good against skirm cavalry, because the skirm cavalry just runs away and attacks them again. But they could be really useful in the late game too for protecting your siege equipment from just like a quick melee cavalry attack and everything. So yeah, now I'm scouting out the base of Besthero. I see he has a barracks, quite a bit of people on stone and metal, but it's not super well developed. So yeah, now I'm just mining up my stone and metal so I could get a second civ center soon. You can see Phalanx is going more for a defensive build and then to expand later. For me, the priority is just to expand at first. And Besthero, he's already building a military colony. That's like an advantage and a disadvantage of both the Ptolemies and the Seleucids. They're military colonies instead of civ centers. The advantage is that they build quicker and they cost less, but the disadvantage is they have less health and they control less territory. But for a map like Isthmus, it's just great because in those sort of maps you want to control the center first at all costs. So then that's just like you can get there quicker, simple enough. So I'm just sending more people to build mine. And Phalanx is now expanding on the edge of his territory towards Red, whose name I do not remember at the moment. So just adding some spearmen to the mix. My guys are starting to come under attack, building the civ center, but judging from the amount of people, it should go up pretty easily. Then after that I could just garrison them and his men will take lots of damage, which is what I do. So yeah, that tears them up pretty quickly. So now the focus is on building towers and eventually getting up to 3rd age. Just generally fortifying myself and getting a better grip on this guy's land. He's already got a tower there, but a lot of his base otherwise is open to raiding. But that's not what I'm going to do just yet. I'm going to build a tower on the edge to kind of lock him in a bit more and discourage him expanding towards my base. I was considering upgrading to advanced for citizen infantry, but I decided not to because it's not all good things in 0AD. It's kind of a trade-off for upgrading your infantry, because they get better at military things, but then their economy tasks become less efficient. So right now I'm still mainly booming. I haven't done that much combat, so I think the economy is more important at the moment. So I'm just trying to sneak a tower in at the other side of his base so he hopefully isn't watching as much. And right now it's my food that's lacking the most, so that needs to be rectified by building some more farms. Got a bit of lag here. So here it's just a race to build the towers. But an advantage of the Iberians is that their towers have, despite costing more, they have quite a bit more health. So if it's just tower versus tower, completely fair, then it's the Iberians who will win. So yeah, that tower there is going to get taken down pretty quick, especially with my tower garrisoned. And I'm pushing dangerously close to the military colony. So I just built a barracks in my front colony to pump out troops more quickly. And here there's a bit of a problem because Red's coming to the rescue. At least he was until he saw my tower. That seemed to have scared him away. Because yeah, I'm pretty well defended because my main base is walled. I could just rebuild that section if I need to. My second base has towers all around it. The one weak area I think is to the west of my base, where I have some houses and some lumber camps. But even that is probably covered by the wall turrets, especially if I garrison them. So yeah, I think I'm in a pretty good position here. Except that I haven't been paying attention to my population. But at this point, I'd just rather build a civ center. Like, this isn't even for map control, really. It's because it gets you a lot of population space. And of course, map control's the added bonus. And like this, I'm not just attacking the light blue and here I advanced to third age. I'm not just attacking the light blue and letting Phalanx be 2v1'd. I'm trying to put some pressure on red too with this civ center. And now I'm building a fortress right next to this guy's military colony. So that should end his expansion pretty soon. And then I can focus on his main base. And the thing is, because of the positioning of the civs, green has been left relatively untouched, so thankfully for us, green wasn't a really good boomer or anything, because he could just come with a massive army at any time. But he didn't seem to be doing much this game. So I'm kind of running out of trees. Meanwhile, I'll be garrisoning my fortress just to take down that civ center with minimal effort. Well, military colony. But I decided I'll still train some battering rams to speed it up. So the Iberians, one of their disadvantages is siege. Basically, battering rams are their only conventional option. But they do have a really, really interesting champion unit that I like a lot. It's the champion cavalry skirmisher. They throw flaming javelins, so it's great against buildings, siege engines, ships, anything like that. Okay, so the red player was Virus. He's resigned now. Because, yeah, Phalanx has done a pretty good job of taking him out. And I'm building yet another civ center here. Mainly to collect the wood, actually. So, yep, the expansion's done. Now I just need to focus on light blue's base. Then 2v1 on green should be pretty easy. They are Persian though, which means they have stronger buildings. But I mean, if you don't have a big army to protect you, it's not going to make a huge difference. And that was an attempt at escape to another place by Besthero, the light blue player, but it didn't work. I'm just trying to take down these towers, kind of sacrificing my battering rams, but at this point it doesn't really matter. And I'm sending my army forward to help in the attack on green too. So these guys are attacking blue. He attempted to wall up, but quick walls don't really work because you can still walk over the foundation. I mean, it's not like in Age of Empires 2 where you see people wall up in like a few seconds. Well, obviously not their whole colony, but it's just short area, small areas they can wall up very quickly just to block out troops. Once my fortress goes up, you won't even be able to build that wall. So yeah, and now we could see Phalanx just put up a civ center there, so in green there's really not much he can do at this point. I'm just using my skirms to raid his economy. Meanwhile, I have my flaming javelin guys just tearing up the guy's base from behind, light blue, while he's distracted by my fortress on the other side. So yeah, causing huge amounts of damage there. And this is getting pretty close to a GG this game. I've got 5 battering rams ready to go into action just to bring a quicker end to green. So yeah, best heroes resigned. So there's only green left to deal with. This should be quite quick. Civ Center, oh, I don't think it was even on cam, but his Civ Center was destroyed pretty quick. I think Phalanx took care of that mainly. And just using battering rams on his other buildings. And I might as well just send everything I have. So, yep, the game is GG. So I look at the scores, and actually because previously I played a game allied with Phalanx and he did way better than me, but as you could see here, my score is like almost the same. Then when you go to the stats, I actually did more kind of for the team because I killed more units and destroyed more buildings. The only thing is he had a really good economy. He didn't use it as much. That's what gave him the higher score. But yeah, it was a really fun game.